Hey everybody, welcome to 2 Minute Tuesday. So glad that you could join. Let's imagine we're riding down the road and we know what the speed limit is, but if you're like me, you probably have a heavy foot. You're a little bit over what that posted number is. And in the distance from around the curve, you see a cop coming. And what's the first thing that you do? If you're like me, you probably put on that brake pedal some. And the next moment, something else happens. You look down at your gauge to see how fast you're going. That leads to one of two things: relief or guilt. That guilt is a result of conviction because you realize that you were wrong. Christ is often, in his cross, our measure of conviction, because all of our sin that Jesus took on, sin from the past, present, and future, is nailed to that cross. And the fact that he would do that for us, it is offensive. People are offended by it because they don't want to have to be held accountable. They don't want to have to admit that they do carry guilt and shame. We push it away. I've lived most of my life in that way, that regard. That when I wanted to have my way and I wanted to fuel and feed my sin appetite, I didn't like the guilt and the shame that I felt after the fact. So we numb ourselves to it by so many different things in this world. Without conviction, there can't be repentance. And for me personally, I'm tired of praying prayers of repentance. So I gave my battles to him. I worked to remove barriers from between he and I. Not so long ago, I just poured out every drop of alcohol that I own. And somebody said, "Man, I bet that was hard, wasn't it?" And I said, "No." It was actually really, really liberating. And since that time, I have seen more of an increase of God in my heart, and more peace, and more hunger for him and his ways, which we learn about in his word. And Paul writes about that very kind of experience, that we die to the flesh so that we can increase, and where there is sin, grace abounds more abundantly. But it's not so that we can sin more to have more grace, but it's so that we can have sin removed so that we can have more grace. And we need that grace with one another. So the conviction that comes from knowing that you're outside of the law, knowing that you're outside of God's pleasing realm and his way, and everything that comes with that, it is offensive. But guess what? If you're like me, you've been guilty. But with that confession can come repentance. And with repentance comes change. It's my prayer for you that you'll have change, that you'll have more peace and more grace. Thanks for watching, and God bless and keep you.